success this past month, this past few months, team efforts that were astounding this month, mind blowing, the way it happened, the way everyone focused, and it's pretty amazing. So I'm going to start out by at least naming if they're not here, at least name them. And we don't have to start that. You know, we're all distributors, or most of us are distributors here. You know, It Works doesn't have a congratulatory certificate in English for executive. You know that. So being Latino, I figured it would be fitting that all my executives get a felicitaciones from me. Congratulations. It Works does not have and I think it was an oversight. It's in French and Spanish, and I think it's in something else. But it's not in English, which is interesting. So we're going to start out by recognizing our brand new executives. Kelly, okay, however, she went executive. Dolores and Mary, those of you who will see them, those nice Spanish translation, congrats. So it took a team effort, and it starts with people who, and those of you who know our distributor, how it works, our business is built in 400 BV or dollar bricks. That's what our business is founded on. And so somebody had to start with 400 ladies. And that 400 ladies is executive. And that executive comes what's next? Ruby. So we've had some Ruby promotions up in here. And now we talked about the average Ruby income. Okay, we're talking $600 a month. That's significant, like you said. Now, executive average $309 a month. That is significant. That's car payment. That's, you know, light bill and gas and, you know, all that kind of stuff. Ruby, we're talking almost double that. And we have Whitney. Come get it. And Renee, your team needs to come up with you. Yeah, please come up with that. Congratulations. Yes. Awesome. Congratulations. Over here. One more.
We saw that.
Awesome. Congratulations. Justin House, represent the federal. I like it. I like this particular group that we're calling up to represent the federal.
Come on. I didn't think it was good.
Thank you. I like having the fellows around. That helps me out. I'm not the only goofy. Next one, cannot be mistaken. The man that made the legend himself. Jason. This guy's heart, man. He's such a support to his wifey, and it's awesome. Now, we saw the income chart. All of us know the income chart. We know what's up. By the way, we're going to replace it because apparently our car box doesn't know this time. So we know it's only going to be for a little bit, so you didn't really want that. The way this person was found was very
A year ago today.
A year ago today. That's crazy. How this person was found because of a mess up with the airlines, and we were at our conference, and Renee started friending people on Facebook, and
Because the flight had been canceled and we had a 9-hour drive home.
so they decided to drive. We decided to stay a night and get the voucher. And yes, I got the flu. So I'm like, I'm sleeping tonight. It was one of those crazy things. They canceled our flight, but they said I'm going. And what Renee did, like she does, said, well, I'm taking advantage of the opportunity. So she started doing business on the whole drive there. Who did she find? Stacey Connor. Stacey Connor has been an amazing catalyst to our team. Her growth as a person, her growth as a leader has been evident through this journey. I'm proud of her. She's my mini-me, and we think alike. we're a lot alike in that sense. And Susan and Dustin are the ones that made me.
We don't get it.
Yeah, we don't get it. They get it. That's fine. But it's so comforting to see what this business can do for someone when they decide that they're going to get it done and they put their business in the hands of God and say, I'm changing my life. And I'm not taking no for an answer. And that's what she did. She worked day and night and day, and she put herself out there. And here she is today. So Stacey Connor, Emerald.
And you might as well go ahead and take off that roomie.
Ta-ta! I love it. I have to mess all of this. You don't get Susan on your dick.
All right, who we're looking at first?
One second.
Thank you.
This is not the end for this girl.
No, this is temporary.
Yes.
Pit stop.
You guys, your team, people out here, they are absolutely good. Woo! This one right here. Another happenstance. There was a run, Boston Marathon. My brother-in-law was gonna go do this walk and run,
5K.
5K or whatever. And so I was like, hey, this opportunity to go blitz. You can go tell people, get some cards out. I had seen one of our mutual friends join this business, and I was like, oh, that fired me up. I'm like, we're gonna go blitz. Little did I know that Renee was gonna be there. We went just to go blitz and just get some people there. And I run into Renee, and we started talking about this mutual friend. Oh yeah, I saw her join the business just a few minutes away. And it was crazy because it was that mutual friend of ours that we went to college with and hung out with and stuff that fired me up to even go to this thing and start blitzing and find some people. Well, there was Renee, and we set up a rap appointment, and I was like, I'm this guy needs. And when we got there, the Chase, I'm like, you're rapping me, you don't have me, bro. Don't forget to rap me. And she got it from the get-go. I saw the magic in her eyes, and it was there. It was a done deal. She was asking all the right questions and saw that she wanted that bad. But she inspired me to be a better leader. She's not pushing me. Her personality and our personality, she is definitely a complementary person to me and my business. And that's the thing I want you to know. Don't always try to find people who are just like you, because there are people who help you completely. Yes, who help to do that. Susan does that for me on a daily basis, and lets me know. But Renee's leadership and her just her heart for people is the next level. The way she treats people, I need to have that heart for people like she does. Not just, all right, let's go make some money, let's go. She's like, let's think about where they're at. Let's think about, and she is a servant leader like none other. And those of you on this team that promoted, it happened because we started with a leader like her, and it trickled down that way to the leadership in the heart of it. So without further ado, our first ever double good earner, okay, $20,000. Renee Hunt.
Wait a long time for this.
It is a blessing to see her. Yes, yes, please do. See her heart. I mean, that's what it takes. That's the heart for people, for love for God, and for love for upline and for downline. So,
We love my upline and my downline. Yeah, this is not me. You cannot get here by yourself. It takes your team, and it took us working together. Every single one of us was an integral part of this happening. So it's a team thing, not a me thing.
oh, yeah.
One, two. One, two.
Wow. This is just the beginning for what's about to happen. This could be any one of you. Look, if someone as goofy as myself, someone as just likes to have a good time, can come and have a team like this here, a team in other counties, a team in other states, cities and states. That all it takes is one person saying, I want this, and I want to change things. I want to change my life. Obviously, we get into really much bigger life. But when it starts to shift is when I have to change other people's lives. And that's when the real stuff happens. That's when the magic happens. When it's about other people. So, thank you guys so much for being on our team. Thank you for doing that. Hey, it's bank. It's money in the bank, baby. I love it. I love it when we get to cry and laugh. So we are going to have some training that I think is super powerful, and that's how to start a new distributor. Okay, how to start a new DT. Because we're growing so fast, because we want to be duplicatable. Okay, that means you want to, duplicate yourself and what you're doing, duplicate your efforts. We came up with a checklist, and we went over with Renee last night, our diamond leader. Diamond leaders meeting. It's not just in the bed with Susan and I anymore. Like, hey, you want to do this? It's our diamond leader. Now we have another one outside.
Just ask me to do that.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. And that's when we were on the phone. It's like, hey. She had one computer and Susan had another computer on that. We were doing that, so right on time. We are going to do some new distributor training. It's not going to be a long training because it doesn't take a long time to teach this. Okay. So, how many in here have been here less than a week? Maybe less than a week. She's fired up too. I love it. How many less than a month?
I'm watching the live stream.
Hey, raise your hand. So these guys, okay, have signed people up like crazy this past month. Okay, a bunch of them are out of town, some of them are here, have some other obligations. When we get somebody started, we want to make sure that they know the one that it works way, but also the team freedom enforcement, how we do. And so we have a very succinct, precise, and a work in progress distributor checklist that you can use, number one, to train your distributors, but also they can use to train themselves and their new people. Okay? So I'm going to have Renee and Susan come up, and they're going to tag team this. We have a sponsor checklist and a new DT checklist, and they're going to make this happen.
You weren't in heels that make you do like a little track meeting. Yeah, I don't know. All right, so we've had, if y'all notice on our Facebook team page, we had a distributor checklist there for a while. We just have to look under files, but we wanted to tweak it a little bit, and so we did that. We wanted to also change it to, you give this checklist to a new distributor. And so they are looking at this like, this is what I need to do. When you're signing people so quickly, like we have all been doing, and during these boom times, it's kind of hard to keep up. New distributors are like babies, and so they need a lot of attention, and you gotta take care of them. We don't just sign people, we sponsor them. So we're there with them. We wanna make them feel supported, we want to help them every step of the way, like Anthony was saying. And so now we have a sponsor checklist, which is essentially the same thing, but there's some extra things there. It kind of gives you directions as to what to do. And then you have this other checklist that you want to give to the distributor. And that keeps them on track. So they correlate. You'll see as we kind of go through this. We got that one, right? Why don't you go over that first?
Okay, so we've been talking a lot, I know she mentioned that we have a lot of new distributors, team-wide.
Yeah.
Team-wide, there's a lot of new distributors, and there's a lot of distributors who are not local. So we want to give every new distributor a tool in their hand to say, okay, I know they told me to do all of this stuff, but that was information overload, so we want a succinct way to say, okay, this is what I did that, I did that, I did that, I did that. So that's what the new DT checklist is. It's the personal version of the sponsor checklist. So as a new distributor, you're going to be giving all of your new distributors a checklist. And basically it is their quote unquote job to check those off. So the way that we present it to all of our new distributors is that this is what is going to help you achieve your goals. Okay? I know it's easy for us because we're teachers and we want to give you tasks and homework.
Here's a list.
Here's a list, check it off. Just do it. But this is your own business. But starting out, it can be very intimidating because you don't know what to do. You're still learning everything all at once. I think this makes it easier for you to say, okay, I need to create a hundreds list. And that's where we start. So we start with three major things: creating a hundreds list. Within that hundreds list, you guys know what this is. You just sit down with a piece of paper and you start writing names. Now, there is the memory jogger that can be found in the document section of eSuite. But once you start thinking, it's going to trigger somebody else. And you just keep writing. You don't leave anyone off. You write everyone's name. And from there, you're going to start working, quote unquote, working that hundreds list to obtain your next goal. Okay, so goal number one as a new distributor is to complete the 72-hour challenge, which means that you get your first 4 loyal customers in your first 72 hours. That magic number 4 is going to give you your 120 product credit. And the reason why we want you to do it in 72 hours is not only are you going to get 2 wrap rewards, so you're going to be able to buy 2 boxes of wrap for $50 total, but you're also going to get 120 product credit. So instead of you spending all this extra personal money, you're going to be making lots of profit. And we want our new distributors making lots of profit because that's going to keep them going past that first month. So hundreds list, 72-hour challenge, and then your third step is the bonus volume of 400. Those are your goals when you start out. Complete a hundreds list, 72-hour challenge, reach for the 400.
Let me stop you for just a second. So notice these are like broken up into sections. So the day that you sign with the distributor, and again, be flexible because sometimes the situation isn't warranted. You go through all of it. So I just signed one right now, and I thought I'll call you tomorrow. I need to get back in here, and they need to go. So I'm going to go through this with her tomorrow, and this is what we're going to do. So the day somebody joins, you want to do these things, and you're going to give them homework. But I'll let you know. I just want to.
No, that's the way this should work is when you have your first meeting, whether it be, say, you want to join tonight, you're going to have that initial meeting right here and then. That first interaction together, And that way they have something to go home and start working from, okay? And so you're, as a distributor, you're gonna have this list, you know what you're going off of, you're accomplishing your goals, and your new distributor has their checklist, and they coincide together.
Yeah, so the first thing she said was, have them create 100 lists, have them do these things, right? So on the sponsor checklist, what does the first thing say? It says have new distributor, create 100 lists, that kind of thing. When you assign in a week 3 and 4 people, that's a lot of new people, that's a lot of work right there. And you might forget, I've done this, I don't know how many times. Have I told you this yet? Because I've just had another conversation with another new distributor. If I told you this helps you not forget. You can talk to them or teach them or help them do. So those of you that aren't those people, I lose typically, right? They're not good at that.
Yeah,
Party
we need the
people.
list.
The party people, us Marines have created this to help you stay on track.
This is so important, scheduling 2 launch parties. And some people, and I've done it, you walk away from them, the initial meeting going, oh, well, I want to get with my people and I want to find out and I've got to check my work schedule. Don't walk away from your first meeting. Even if you have to say, okay, let's potentially pencil you in and then we can come back to it. And you always use a pencil, right? I learned that from Mama Dave. You use a pencil so you can go back and change it. But you need to have 2 in 14 days. And the reason why you have 2 is because it is inevitable. We had a party yesterday. 3 people called and canceled that day. It was raining. Your knees are gonna hurt. I don't know. People call and cancel the day up. It happens. So all you have to do is say, that's fine because I have another one in 5 days. I'll count on you being here then. Okay? And it gives a backup plan to your thing. Then you, as a distributor,
Okay, schedule 2 launch parties with your distributor for within 40 days.
Got it down.
You see how easy this is? Dumb and dumber.
is it dumb or dumber or dumb and dumber?
Dumb.
Oh my God.
Okay, this is so important. Make sure you get your email. Your email from the company is the way that they remind you about your auto ship going out. It's how they give you the weekly wrap-ups. So you need to make sure that the day after, if it's not the same day, double check the day after if it takes a little while, but they get an email from the company. You also want to log into eSuite. But the distributor side of that is teach them
But yeah,
how to log into
it.
eSuite.
You want to do it for them. Okay, so the best thing is to be hands off and let them on a computer do it themselves. You don't want to show them, they don't want to do that.
Now, what I try to do as a distributor is I send them a text with the eSuite website so they can click directly, username, password, done. Okay, so I will send them, and I do that for my customers too. As soon as someone becomes a customer, I write www.myitworks.com, username, password. And underneath that, I give them a little snippet about the referral program, make sure you log in and share for your 10 points, and lock this text because they won't forget their username and password, and they won't remember. So they have a way to go back, or they can copy and paste it and put it in their phone. But send them their eSuite login information, and so as a new distributor, I'm going to log in. Another thing I'm going to do is I'm going to stay engaged on team Facebook pages. I know for my team, I have an additional thread, a Facebook Messenger thread. That way I can communicate, because we just little crazy. Wow. You've got to have a way to communicate with just the people with you, so you can communicate one-on-one. But you want to make sure that you, as a new distributor, are adding them to the new pages, but that as the distributor, that you're encouraging them to get engaged on those pages. That's where we see the call information. There's, by the way, Lori's call is tonight at 9:30. She wants all of the team on. So if you can make the call 9:30, please make sure you dial in. It's on the MIT page. So, go to the It Works You training tab in eSuite and start doing your training. Try to get them to do that in 3 days. Give them the expectation of doing that in 3 days. So as a new distributor, in your situation, you're going to know, I have 3 days that I need to get this training done. And as a distributor, training a new distributor, you want to encourage them to do that because it's inevitable that your phone, I killed you. I mean, I sent him so many messages and texts and called because I was just a sponge. I couldn't get enough, and I wanted to dig and dive, but I didn't get enough training. And if I had done that, I would have known. And so when you start getting some of these messages that are obviously addressed in eSuite, you know that they've not done their training. So what I say is I answer it, and then I say, so how's the eSuite training going? Because you know they're not doing it, and encourage them to do it. And then schedule a time to meet within 3 days, whether it be in person or by phone. Obviously, some of us are not local with some of our team members, so we have to do it by phone or by Skype or by Hangouts or FaceTime. I don't care. Schedule a time to meet in the following 30 days. So what's really cool about this is that's a lot, okay, for you to sit down and maybe they're good students and write down notes, or maybe they're not and they're going to get home and be like, what was I supposed to do? This gives them an accountability to say, okay, I need to do this, I need to do this. And new distributors don't know what to do. So this helps them get started by telling them what they can do.
Here's how you ensure that they do it in 3 days, is by setting that appointment up. And so in order to do that, and be organized, that don't like to be organized. Or have a calendar is your paper calendar. So mine is done, mine is yours. So you look this up, and you just got, then you still have that. Besides, great. It's in your first. But that way, again, when you're signing a lot of people, you guys are in for 3 days from now. All right, it's Thursday, so Stacey, I'm going to call you. It's 4 o'clock today. We're going to get 4, and I got to get that offer. Or let's go have coffee and we'll chat, that kind of thing. By doing that, because people don't want another boss. They're not doing this business to have somebody tell them what to do. And you got to be careful about being bossy. I have to be careful about being bossy because I'm bossy, right, Kristen? I'm really bossy. So what I say to them is, I'm going to give you a couple things I want you to do so that the next time when we get together on Thursday, that way if you have any questions after you've seen the training, or that way we'll work together and start contacting people, and we'll get you going really quickly because they've already created their members list. Does that make sense? You don't want to sit there and do things with them that they can do on their own. You want to get them making money and doing money-making activities by scheduling parties, rapid plans, when you are with them. Does that make sense?
A lot of this that you see on this checklist is geared towards, this is a relationship business. So it's geared towards, number one, building a relationship with the when you have those sit downs or phone calls, you find out what they want to say. You know, and you end up finding out that are they a runner? Okay, and a runner, like Renee, who called me all the time, she wanted to know more. Hey, I got this party scheduled. Someone's going to go out there and run with me. Okay, are they going to be a jogger? Just kind of do a little bit here and there. Or are they going to be a walker? You have to really just they're going to call you so often. You know, but you actually have your time is valuable, and you're in this business to make money. And so this gives you a gauge, pretty much, of where they're at. And you have the conversation. Where are you at? Where do you want to be? And then you see if they're serious about that. Because then they have the homework and say, look, we're business owners, and we success as an interview tool, but we also use this as an accountability tool for us and for them to make sure that we're doing the best teaching that we can, but they're doing everything they can to help them make money at the same time.
So no one slips through the cracks, you know, because it can happen if you're enrolling as many people as is what's going on right now. So.
You see how the difference between you and I'm like, and to help them make money, help them make sure that they're doing what they're supposed to do. Like, but we don't want to be sick. See how they do the union, that's the part right there. You gotta have it all. Okay? You gotta make sure that's what the checklist did, is combine that, making some money at the same time, to build that relationship.
So, and I wouldn't word it like, hey, go do this homework. People don't want to know your life. What are you doing?
I'm just trying to with you.
Oh, okay. I don't even know what I was saying now. But, okay, so tell them to complete their hundreds list. You want them to have that organized. And again, those contacts, those 100 people can be in more than one category. But remember, the categories are potential party hosts. I was that person. If somebody had started a business or did something, they always called me to host a party. The party
Yeah.
host, right? Always buying them. So that person could also be a potential loyal customer or a potential distributor. So you put them in all three categories if you want. So they can be in multiple categories. Who needs the business? Who do you know that needs to make $300 to $500? If you can have that, then do that. Easy. And who needs products? So, I know somebody who's on 30. I signed a loyal customer today. Her and her family are doing a 30-day lay down within their little family. And so she signed as a loyal, and I was like, don't forget the referral program. Go tell your brother. Go tell your mom and dad. You can get free boxes of wraps. So, anyway, so thinking about people who need specific things, knowing what we have, what we can offer people, that will help you make that.
So the basics. First 3 days, this is what the new distributor's working on. They're working on their hundreds list. They're working on their 4 in 72 hours and 400 in volume. Okay, that is them accomplishing goals. In order to do that, they're working off their organized hundreds list. They're doing their training. They're staying engaged. So there's 2 parts. There's this is my goal, and this is how I get there. So we're not just telling them what they need to do. We're telling them how to get to where they need to be.
Okay, so when you meet with them in that 3-day period, there's a couple things you want to talk about. One is hopefully you said this beforehand. Write down any questions that you have so that when we get together, you don't forget anything.
Because that's on my list. As a new distributor, I know for the training meeting that I'm gonna have, I need to write down any questions. I need to write down my reason why I'm doing this business. And by the way, this is something that we started, and Stacy has started another thing that I love, post your goals, okay? So that's something that she's doing within her team, and y'all feed into that. It will really encourage these new distributors, it's pouring out, and it makes you accountable. Oh, my goals are maybe not as, maybe I need to reconsider this, but it's keeping you accountable. So I love that he did that. That's leadership. But put your why on Facebook, on the Facebook pages. Write down an income goal for 30, 60, 90. Because how can you start a business without setting goals for yourself? You're just going to walk through day by day, and then eventually it's going to fade away because you've not set goals. This is so important. Know and be able to teach the steps to success. So I'm going to take, and on your list, it says have them, okay, but so as a new distributor, or as for training new distributor, know and be able to teach the steps to success, even if you're working out of your party pad. So tell them to go home and practice this right here. That's it. Practice this and be able, when we come back together, for you to go through the steps to success party pad. Okay?
There's a ton of videos on
Yes.
YouTube out there. We often use the Denise Waltz one for the new party pad, 11 minutes. Send that to your new distributors and watch it over and over. Conference calls, getting them on the conference calls is key. Corporate ones, Sunday night and Monday night. We've got Tina's team call on Sunday night before the corporate. And then Lori and Eric's calls are different times. So usually once a month.
Monday.
But it's tonight. So you want people to get plugged in because that's what they're going to connect to, is hearing other people's stories and relate. That's what happened for me. I wanted, Anthony did this business for a year. And I was like, I want to do it. that was my attitude. But I went and I met people and heard people talk about. So the same things that you hear on the conference calls, I heard stories that I can relate to. That increased my belief in myself that I could actually do something like this. So that's important. The events and the calls. How many of y'all been to an event? So what would you say? Would you tell your team? Would you tell everybody in here who hasn't gone to an event in this event? Because how did that change your business? It will change your life, right? So keep that in
And we
mind.
have one coming up, by the way. Next Tuesday, it is in Atlanta. Pam Souter will be there. Atlanta trainings are always good. Even in the short 20 minutes of training that they did at the one we went to, it was crazy the amount of snippets I got in 20 minutes. Like, I'll have to share with you. I'm going to be creating little videos and putting that up so you guys can get some of that we got from the training. And then 2 weeks later, we're going to Murfreesboro. Now, these are one team, one mission, so they are on Tuesday night. So just understand that it's a couple drive hours.
It's gonna be a late night.
It'll be a late night, but let me tell you, there is nothing. My first OTOM changed my life because that's what made me sign up for conference, which is what made me get to conference, and which what led me to doing everything that I did. So it all started with an OTOM. So
That's what happened with me. I went to now called OTOM, but first 3 months of the business, I went to called a boot camp thing. And 3 months later, I was 90. That propelled me, put belief in my heart, put belief that I could do this, and because I was around other people who were successful and were teaching me how to do it. Millionaires who were literally giving me their ideas. And I haven't had it very often. So that's why it's important. Feel the energy. This is a local event, and we have a few of our team here. But when you get to these big events of 400, 500 people, plus the corporate conference, the national conference, international conference, 10,000, 15,000 in the room, all excited when the light can blink, the energy, you can't help it. Feel it.
So get to an event. Now, one thing that they can be working on, I personally, that's how I learned a lot of the business, is I just started YouTubing. It works. I just went out there and searched people. This was before Pam made all these videos.
Yeah.
Now she has these like minute and a half long clips, and they are perfect for blitzing and things to say, and steps to success. I will typically send new team members a link to one, so then they can watch the rest of them from that one thread.
Okay, so keep that meeting short. You don't want to meet for 2 or 3 hours. You don't need more than that. So then after that, remember you scheduled 2 launch parties. So you are going to their first launch party. So cool. Our setups are so simple that you don't have to go an hour before. I've been to some parties where people had like totes, and they had to come up, they had to come set up like an hour earlier. So we say 30 minutes for a couple of reasons. You want that person to be wrapped. You want them to feel comfortable. You want, you don't. Sorry. You want to arrive so that you can teach them how to set up the different stations, so our 3 stations, right? In your training. So that's why you're going a little bit early. Okay, so your 3, are we going to talk about 3 stations? Okay, so I'll do it really quick. 3 stations, you have a registration station. That prevents you from having to be like, oh, don't forget to pay me for your wrap. Okay, so you have your clear jar, you have a sign-in sheet, and you have a pen. And they sign their name, they say what they want to wrap, they put their money in the jar, you give them the wrap.
And this is a great place for that new distributor to be. Yeah. Because that way they're seeing the money come in with you. Okay, so their jar's filling up with money, and it frees you up to be wrapping people while they are, and this is how it works, they sign in, they buy a wrap, they get the wrap in hand, okay? Then from there, you are in the wrap room, right here. Okay, and in the wrap room, You are discussing with them what their goals are, what you want to work on. You recognize. You're getting to know them.
Connect with people.
Yes.
Knowing
Have a
their goals are,
conversation.
so you don't say, this person eats super clean and super healthy, but then I'm not gonna tell them to get a fat finder, that doesn't make sense with what they eat. You have to know, your product so that, as well as knowing their goals, so you can describe whatever they would need. So you have, your scissors, you have your,
Saran wrap or fat wrap.
saran wrap, and then what I usually have is I'll have a product pamphlet. I sometimes will use clipboards, but I'll take a product pamphlet and I'll put in there a customer form and a distributor form, and I tell them, I'll say, and I'll give them a pen, go ahead and fill out this top portion right here, and with your information, and then I'm going to talk about some of these products today, and so I just want you to mark the ones that you're interested in, so that you might want to get more information about. Your closing rate's gonna go through the roof. So they'll have this, you make reference to this, obviously, during their presentation, and they have to bring this back. If they come back without it, I say, why don't you go get that and then come back, and I'll bring that.
No, like you're taking it back into the rack room. And that's a way for you to find out what they're interested in. And this really sets them up for the loyal customer program, because while they are looking, they're going to check off more than one thing. So when they come to the loyal customer program and they say, oh my gosh, that's 3 months, and you say, well, look, you have 4 items on you. So you just get 1 item every month, and that 3rd month, or that 4th month, that product's going to have free shipping on it. Okay? So you have your 3 stations, you do your wrap rooms,
And here's your presentation.
right?
I've done it, it can be as small as I've done it on a TV.
Yeah.
So,
And basically, you're just gonna have the things that you highlight, the fat fighters and fine gel. Some of your favorite products, hair, skin, and nails, I always have at mine. Okay, this is one of our best sellers for a reason, because it is amazing. There is nothing else out there like it, right, Beth? Crazy. Okay, this product is crazy. What it's done to Donna's nails. We all have personal testimonies of this product. My husband's bald spots going back here. So, the things that you're going to use during your presentation, and a dry wrap. How do you get a dry wrap? You wash the one that you use. And by the way, you should be using the wrap. You can be a product. That way you can, when you're going through that first step, you can show them this is where you put it. People are visual, y'all. They need to know where they put it, how they put it. Cut it in half this way. You put the fat end up there. You rotate it around. Voila. Voila, you got an arm wrap. Okay? So, have a dry wrap so they can see. And then,
I was looking for steps to success to show y'all this next part. So here's something cool that you can do to generate more business. Okay, at a party, have your guests take a picture while holding the party pad. Hold your party pad. Yay.
selfie!
Oh, thank you. They're going to post it on their choice of social media, and whoever ends up with the most likes or the most comments, you can give them something for free. It could be a greens on the go pack.
Speaking of greens on the go packet, if you don't know this, get you a box of greens on the go so you can hand them out to samples. Please. I've so many.
And then you want to give them to the end of the party. Don't forget to do that. I sometimes do that, and then I forget at the end of the party to kind of winner. So don't forget to do that. So then you can also hand out steps to success at your party to your guests. So you can say these 3 questions. Okay, I want you to, and it doesn't even have to be this. You can do some note cards before, little slips of paper, and say, I'm going to ask you 3 questions, and I want you to write something down. Write down, number 1, write down the names of 4 people who you know that would want to time phone in front of employee. Okay. Number 2, write down what you would do with an extra $500 a month. Because then you get them thinking, what can I do? Well, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go with Renee and Stacy and Ben, and we're going to go to the spot, and then we're going to go.
That's right. That's right.
So you get them already thinking, what would I do? Especially for a stay-at-home mom that no longer has an income. Woo! I can do lots of that, right? Write down, and then number 3, write down the names of 3 people who you know could use $500. So then they've already filled out steps to success, y'all, and then when you get to the business part, they've looked at this and they're like, oh, I can do this. Anybody can. 7 people. 7 people is all you need to complete this. We all know many more concepts. So we zoomed through that. But the last section is miscellaneous. You will only see that on the sponsor checklist. It's not on the new DT checklist because you don't want to overwhelm them. These are random things that are going to come up, and you don't want to teach this to them until it's applicable. So when you first meet with them, if they don't have a customer to put in, you don't want to teach them how to put in a customer. You're already there, they will be on information overload and kind of, oh, I'm nervous. Should I do this? Am I making the right decision? Do not overwhelm them. So when it's applicable and they've got that first customer, you don't have to meet with them. I've taught people how to do it through text or over the phone. Oh, that's how, and so just make sure these are the things that are going to come up when I'm thinking through this. How to sign up a customer or distributor, how to redeem applicate or wrap rewards, how to redeem 120 free products, how to find the My It Works store and get Blitz cards, product pamphlet shirts, set up their account on My It Works Pay, order a Square so they can sell wraps and use people's debit cards. They're free, by the way. Explain to them what the IT bonus is. 60 customers, 3,000 in ED. That's an extra $600 a month instead of bonus. Charts of Ruby. Get a new DT to an event, whether it's local or corporate. Teaching them about loyal customer care, contacting your customers within 2 days, 2 weeks, and 2 months. The referral program that you need to teach them to contact and be create that skill or that habit to contact monthly. How to prep a host or hostess when these people are hosting parties. How disappointing is it when you go to the party and nobody shows up? You can avoid that by properly preparing the host and by getting in contact with that person. And we can talk about that more in detail at that time. And make sure they know who their uplines are, diamond all the way through ambassador. Because if I talk about Tina Hackcliffe, and y'all don't even know who that is. So.
Any questions?
Any questions about, I know some of the stuff you might not need, some of y'all are doing here, you might not know exactly. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, they're the better teachers than I am. I just, a lot of stuff you don't know, might not know, new to the biz, that kind of stuff. Please contact your upline. And if they don't know, they'll contact their upline because that's what we want. We want to create a filter of knowledge so that we can better support our people. Look, for me, this is all fine and dandy because it's a good thing. I need it. However, I go out there and I blitz people. I tell people about it. I put the wrap on them and help them make money. So there's more to running a business than just blitz wrapping and repeating. That's how you get started in your business. But if you want to get paid like a business, you have to treat it like a business. So that's our meeting today. That's our training. We feel like this is important. Do not veer away from this. Okay, start with the steps of success and supplement that with this DT checklist. Okay, this is just a tool for you to help you teach your people. Okay.